What is up, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to Painfully Honest Advice. So I am going to open up the blinds in this video and share with you guys my 50 stocks portfolio. Actually, I have 47 stocks right now, but in this video, I am going to be buying 3 additional stocks. So I'll share with you guys my full portfolio at this point. Now, currently, I do focus on dividend-based stocks because I'm trying to build another source of passive income. And I currently use M1 Finance as an app because it's a really great app if you're looking to build a dividend-based portfolio. But I'll get into all that in this video. Now, full disclosure here, guys, I am not a financial advisor, so invest at your own risk because this market is way too volatile. But my strategy has always been to focus on buying dividend-based stocks that have high safety ratings. Basically, my goal is to build a passive income and build a portfolio where it can just pay me dividends. Now, these stocks that I'm going to share with you guys are all stocks that I currently own in my portfolio, and these stocks do pay out a decent dividend. Now, why I like dividend-based stocks also is because these companies are credible and they're basically the market leaders in their sector. Plus, these companies have decent earnings, and that's why they're actually able to pay you out a dividend based on their earnings. So these are going to be companies that are either leaders in their space or that can handle any kind of volatility or any kind of turmoil in the market. But let's go ahead and jump into my portfolio with M1 Finance. All right, guys, so as I pull up my portfolio here, I call this portfolio my bucket list portfolio because it is a long-term portfolio that I'm basically looking to hold forever. Now, personally, I do like M1 Finance also because it does not have any kind of trading fees. And with M1 Finance, you can actually have multiple portfolios. So in my case, I have my brokerage portfolio, which is my bucket list portfolio. Plus, I do have my Roth IRA and my traditional IRA, which I'm also transferring over to M1 Finance. So you can also have retirement accounts with M1 Finance. Now, additionally, I do like M1 Finance if you're looking at long-term trading and you want to focus on dividend-based stocks. I think it is one of the best platforms. Now, as we jump through my portfolio here, I've broken my portfolio up into 11 different sectors. Now, these 11 different sectors are the 11 sectors in the stock market and in the S&P 500. So the sectors are broken up into financials, real estate, technology, consumer staples, utilities, healthcare, communication services, industrial, energy, consumer discretionary, and materials. Now, I like the idea of breaking it down into different sectors so I can leverage my risk and make sure that I'm not too volatile to one sector in case that sector just goes down or the market takes a huge hit in that sector. Now, additionally, if we look at my total holdings here, like I said, I currently hold 47 positions, but I'm going to be buying 3 stocks in this video as well, which I'll get into once I go through my current portfolio. But now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the first sector, which is the financial sector. Now, in the financial sector, I have a bunch of different stocks. This is actually one of my favorite sectors. The reason for that is because I came from the financial sector. I've actually worked in the financial sector for about 7 to 10 years. And currently, I own a couple businesses. And one of the businesses I have is in this sector as well. Now, with this sector, you guys will notice that I do have a lot of different stocks in this sector, from financial services to different banking industries in the US and in Canada. Now, just running through some of the stocks that I have in this sector is I have Aflac, Goldman Sachs, Bank of Nova Scotia, Moody's Corporation, Bank of Montreal, M&T Bank, American Express, CM or CIBC, Visa, TD, Royal Bank of Canada, and JP Morgan Chase. Now, as you guys can tell, why I like some of these banks and why I'm actually invested in Canadian banks as well as American banks is because I actually came from the banking sector and the Canadian banks are just a lot stronger. Now, in Canada, they have about 1/10 of the banks that we have in the US. So I do believe that the Canadian banks are a lot safer to invest in long term. So that is one of the reasons why I invest in Canadian banks, and Canadian banks actually do pay out a lot better dividend than the American banks. Now, to me, American banks are a little riskier, so I don't have too many American banks, but I do have M&T, which to me is one of the more secure banks that pays out a decent dividend. And if I just click on them, I can actually see what their dividend pays out, which is 3.99%. But if I go back, just to share with you guys some of the other banks here, for example, with CIBC, their dividend is actually 7.47%, which is huge. I mean, that's a nice dividend. But guys, these are my current stocks in my financial sector. And now let's go ahead and go to the next sector, which is going to be real estate. Okay, now with real estate, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys what I currently have in real estate. And currently I have 5 different holdings in real estate. Now, to me, the real estate and the financial sector are probably at the biggest risk right now with what's going on in the market. But I'm investing in these passively as a long-term investing strategy with dollar cost averaging. So as the market goes down in these sectors, I'm actually buying more and more of these sectors. Now, personally, my investment in the real estate sector is I do own Realty Income Corporation, which pays out a monthly dividend. So I do really like the stock, and their current dividend yield is 5.45%. This stock has consistently been going up. And now, if you're not familiar with Realty Income Properties, this is one of my favorite stocks. What they actually invest in is commercial real estate, and they have big box tenants like Walgreens, Walmart, Sam's Club. Those are just some of them, but they're basically one of the biggest REITs that is out there. But going back, some of the other investment that I have is in public storage. To me, this is one of the safer investments because public storage, as far as the storage facility goes, I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. I do have Ventus as well. Ventus is in senior housing, and they focus on senior housing. Now, this stock is probably the riskiest stock that I have in my real estate portfolio, but with Ventus, I'm just looking to hold this for the long term. And actually, just one other thing on Ventus, I do like this because the dividend yield is high, but like I said, this stock is a little bit riskier. But now going back into the last REIT that I currently have in my portfolio is FRT, which is Federal Realty Investment Trust. Now, this REIT I'm looking to hold on to long term as well. They do pay out decent dividend as well at 5.72%, and to me, they're just a consistent REIT to hold on to. And they are actually considered a dividend aristocrat as well, which basically means that they've been paying out dividends for the last 25 years, and they've been consistently growing their dividends as well. So guys, these are just the 5 REITs that I currently have in my portfolio. But now let's go ahead and go back into my sectors as well, into my bucket list portfolio. Now, technology is another sector that I do not see going anywhere in the long term. And just to get into the sector, I am invested 13% into this sector. Now, personally, in technology, I just have 2 stocks because these are my favorite 2 stocks in technology that pay out a dividend. Now, I do like some stocks that don't pay out a dividend in technology, but like I said, my focus is on dividend-based stocks and dividend growth for passive income. So in technology, we're all probably familiar with these 2 names, but I have Apple and I have Microsoft. Now, Apple is one of those stocks that I just consistently see growing over the long term. They pay out an all right dividend. Their dividend is probably a little bit lower, but it's 1%. But to me, it's a good balance of having growth in your portfolio, because with Apple and with Microsoft, they're consistently going to grow. So when you're getting that dividend is going to keep growing as well as the stock price keeps going up. So now that is my stocks in my technology sector that I currently own right now. But going back, and let's go ahead and go to consumer staples. Now, consumer staples, just so you guys know, is probably one of the safest investment sectors out there. If you are new to trading in the stock market, I personally recommend to go to this sector first, because with real estate or with technology or with financials, those sectors are a little riskier. With consumer staples, these are products that we're all going to be using no matter what. So these are basically household goods or products that we need on a day-to-day. But now let me go ahead and jump into consumer staples, which is about 11.6% of my current portfolio. Now, in consumer staples, I do have a bunch of different stocks here. I have Coca-Cola, Cisco, ADM, Kimberly-Clark, Clorox, Hormel Foods, PepsiCo, and Procter and Gamble. Now, all these stocks, guys, are very safe dividend-based stocks. So if you are looking at investing and you're looking at investing in dividend-based stocks, I would personally suggest to go to this sector first. Now, with these companies, I don't see these companies going anywhere. With the credibility that some of these companies have and some of the products that some of these companies have, those are going to be household products that we're basically never going to get rid of. But now let's go ahead and go back into my portfolio, and let's go ahead and jump into the next sector, which is utilities. So with utilities, I can tell you guys, this is another one of those safe plays. But as far as my utility sectors, I have Southern Company, I have Duke Energy, SJW, AQN, and NEE, which is Next Era Energy. Now, a lot of these companies like Southern Company or Duke Energy do invest in energy, basically gas or electric. Now, these are some of the largest companies. For example, with Southern Company, they're one of the largest utility companies in the US. Now, these companies to me are a little bit safer play long term, and they pay out a decent dividend with SO at 4.38%. Personally, another safe one that I do like is SJW. Now, SJW does not pay as high of a dividend. They pay a 2.10% dividend, but they are focused around water utilities. So I do like to diversify my utilities in the different investments. And I'm not going to really jump into the next two here, but this is basically, guys, my portfolio as far as my utility companies. Now, just jumping on to the next sector here is I'm going to go ahead and go into healthcare. Now, like I said, some of these are definitely safer dividend-based stocks, and healthcare is probably another one of those safer investments. Now, in healthcare, I have three different companies here, which is Johnson & Johnson, Medtronic, and Abbey. Now, all three of these companies are well-known companies, and they pay out a dividend, and they're basically very, very, very safe. But now let's go ahead and jump into communication services. Now, with communication services, I try to keep it pretty lean here as far as the stocks that I own in communications. But basically, I have AT&T, Disney. If you didn't know, Disney is a communication or a telecommunication company. Yes, they are. And TELUS Corporation. And those are the three companies that I currently invest in right now. But next, let's go ahead and go into industrial. Now, in the industrial sector, I have about 4% of my investment in there. But industrials is another sector that I'm personally looking to grow. And currently in industrials, I have 3M, I have GD, and I have Waste Management. Now, all three of these companies are long-term strategy companies that pay out a decent dividend. So now, guys, these are some of the companies that I personally have in my industrial sector. But now let's just go ahead and jump back to my portfolio and go into my energy sector. Now, personally, in the energy sector, I do not have many stocks because in the energy sector, I'm just not too sure in regards to the sector where this is going to be going long term. But the two stocks that I do focus on in the energy sector is ExxonMobil and Chevron. But with ExxonMobil, they do pay a nice dividend as well at 7.92%, and they're basically the market leader in the sector. Now, let's go ahead and go back to the portfolio. Let's go ahead and go back to the next sector, which is going to be consumer discretionary. Now, consumer discretionary, if you're not familiar with the sector, this is basically going to be all your restaurants or any type of chains. Now, in consumer discretionary, I personally own two stocks in this portfolio in this sector, which is going to be McDonald's and Starbucks. Now, both of these companies to me are the industry leaders in their sectors, but these guys are just the two stocks that I currently own in my consumer discretionary. And the last sector that I have in my portfolio is going to be materials. Now, materials is another sector that long term I personally don't see going anywhere as well. In materials, I do have two companies, and the first one is Ecolab and the second one is Lin. And guys, this basically takes care of the whole portfolio, and these are the 47 stocks that I currently have in my portfolio. But next, I do want to go ahead and add three different stocks to my portfolio, so let's go ahead and jump into that. And the first stock that I'm actually going to add is going to be Sun Life Financial. Now, Sun Life Financial is a life insurance and a financial services company, so I'm going to go ahead and add that into my financial sector. And they're basically one of the biggest stocks as far as when it comes down to life insurance. And they're one of the biggest three financial services stocks for life insurance in Canada. But guys, that is going to be my 48th stock in my portfolio, which is going to be Sun Life Financial. Now, this is another one of those companies that I just see holding on to long term. And now let's go ahead and jump into the next stock that I'm going to go ahead and add to my portfolio, which is going to be Nike. Now, Nike is probably the number one brand as far as a world recognized brand in the athletic gear department. All right, so I'm just finishing up purchasing Nike at this point. Okay, so I've officially added Nike to my portfolio, and that is basically my 49th stock. And finally, now going back to my portfolio, the 50th stock that I'm gonna go ahead and add to my portfolio is gonna be another REIT in real estate. And the REIT is Digital Digital Realty Trust. So with Digital Realty Trust, they are basically focused on data centers. And if you just look at their current trends, they are, like I said, one of the leaders as far as in the data centers. They've been consistently growing. And while the market has taken a hit, Digital Realty Trust has consistently been growing. Okay, and now I have gone ahead and added Digital Realty Trust to my portfolio here. So guys, these are going to be the holdings that I'm going to have in my portfolio. And these are basically going to be the 50 holdings that I have separated into the different sectors. And guys, if you want to keep up with my portfolio, I do have a Patreon account that I have set up where I basically share all my buys and sells. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you have not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down there. And if you have not already hit that like button, it would honestly be highly appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the transparency in this video and seeing the 50 stocks that I currently have in my portfolio. But thank you, fam, for watching. Love you guys. I will see you guys at the next one.